So I feel like with this show, is it almost an embarrassment of riches as far as how much you have and filtering it down into 22 minutes each week?
Absolutely, yeah, because there's so many people that contribute so many great stuff to so many great things to our site. It is sort of about it's a lot of curation. You know, it's almost like being a DJ to a degree, but it's also you know, people aren't contributing finished things.
Right.
It's because it's not about like, here's my thing, will you put it on TV? Mm-hmm. It's really more about a community of people coming together on this site and working together to make a show.
What you're kind of talking about is this great thing how these things can snowball. You know, the one person writes one little thing and then you build on it.
Yeah.
Is it surprising to you to see, you know, the direction some of these things go based on the first submission you get?
Absolutely, and that's the fun of it, and that's, I think, what makes the show so good, is that it is surprising. Mm-hmm. And when you're working just with kind of the normal Hollywood industry, there are very few surprises, and that's why everyone always complains. They're like, man, Hollywood's out of ideas, you know, it's just a bunch of kind of recycled stuff. But when you open it up to anybody in the world and say, well, what, you know, tell us your personal perspective, tell us about something that happened in your life, you know, and then a writer might pick up on that story and write something about it. And then, you know, you hear a voiceover actor do something with it that you wouldn't have expected. And then people draw the characters, you know, for a cartoon differently than you might have envisioned them. And all of those sort of unexpected surprises are what make the show so textured, I think.
Each episode has a sort of a topic, and I'm curious at what point you come up with those. You know, do you start to see, oh, we're getting a lot of things that kind of would work for this, or do you first come up with the, like, say, dark, and then you're just like start to ask people, hey, we want things for this topic?
Yeah, well, because this is the second season, we kind of knew what we were doing more than we did in the first season. Because the show doesn't really have a formula or a format, we're kind of figuring it out as we go. But because it's the second season, that's where we started, was, all right, let's pick the themes. Mm-hmm. So each episode has a theme, and we just start a collaboration on the site and say, who's got ideas for themes? And we get, you know, a couple thousand different suggestions. And then you also get people in the community liking which ones. You know, they hit the heart button, and the ones that lots of people seem to resonate with, that, you know, people that have good ideas, the cream sort of rises to the top.
Right.
And so the 8 themes for the 8 episodes that we're doing this season, it's not like I just came up with them. You know, it was like everything on the show, it was really a collaboration amongst a whole bunch of people.
You have some great, you know, sort of guests who help you here and collaborate with you, like Mindy, Kaling, and Hathaway. How do you sort of get people like that involved? At what point do they get involved?
I call them on the phone and like, hey, this is this really fun thing I'm doing. Want to do it? That's it. They're just, you know, they're friends of mine who take an interest in the fun that I'm having. I mean, it's a really, to me, how should I say this? The way HitRecord started was not, hey, I know I have an innovative idea for a television variety show. That's like, you know, the latest step in a long evolution. It started as just something when I had downtime, because you have lots of downtime as an actor, and I wanted to keep making things. You know, it can be difficult as an actor because you can't do your art, you know, do your creativity unless someone gives you a part.
Right.
And that sucks. It can be really painful if no one gives you a part, and that's, you know, I went through that when I finished Third Rock from the Sun, and I quit acting for a while, and then when I came back, I couldn't get a part, and it was painful, and I realized I can't leave this up to other people. I can't wait for someone's permission to make things and express myself. And that's actually, it was back then that I first started saying hit record to myself, and the, you know, the round red record button became this like personal symbol for me. Like, I'm gonna push the button, I'm gonna start making things, and I bought myself a copy of Final Cut Pro, the video editing software, and I started playing around with making videos and stuff. And HitRecord was just like this little saying I had, and me and my brother would say to each other. And then it grew from there, and it became a website, and then the website grew, and, you know, years later, it got to the point where, all right, you know, we've got enough people in this community, and we're making enough good stuff, we could probably fill up a TV show.
Do you think, because I know for you, you've talked in the past about, yeah, there's not a lot of movies where, say, you would get to, do sort of the singing and dancing, that you can do a lot on here. For people like Mindy or Ann, is it really fun? Because, like you say, movies can be pretty, constrictive, but here it's like you can do anything, and it can be one little 5-minute thing and you can go crazy.
That's just it. I think a lot of times in our job, we can get pigeonholed. You play these roles, and you have to this, you have to that. Like, don't blah blah blah. And HitRecord is really just like try to forget all that and just have fun, kind of, making something, expressing yourself, doing it with other people that you wouldn't normally get to collaborate with, and have a good time. And this is my idea of fun. People sometimes ask me when I do interviews for movies or something, like, well, what do you do in your spare time? And like, this is, HitRecord is what I do.
Mm-hmm. Is there any segments this season that you're particularly excited for people to see?
Oh man, there's so many. Actually, the last episode of the season is one of my favorites. It's all about the future, and but what else? Specific segments. Let's see. What's a good one to mention? Well, you mentioned Mindy Kaling.
Yeah.
In that same episode, which is the first episode of the season, where the theme is the dark, we did this song where someone wrote a song called Veil of Night. Mm-hmm. And it was sort of this evil sounding song. And we got a whole bunch of people from the community to go out into the woods this one night. It was actually the night after Halloween. And we all kind of dressed in kind of Halloweenish, but not costumes like, oh, I'm a funny nurse or I'm a superhero, like dark kind of evil costumes. And we did this, dark ritual of music and dance and fire, and a ton of people brought cameras, and then we just did it out there in the woods and put it on our show. I think it's really, really unique. You don't see on many variety shows on TV this sort of song.
Right.